An ex-minister ventures through the frozen depths of hell in search of his kidnapped daughter. This is an indie casual adventure game made by Thomas Brush at Atmos Games. This is Pinstripe. Now, I've been following Thomas Brush on YouTube for a while now, and he's a big part of what revived my interest and my passion into wanting to learn to make video games. A passion that I just set aside for over 10 years, before just recently picking back up. This is the first video in a series where I plan to showcase indie games and promote them for people that have been stuck in that nostalgia bubble of gaming and can't seem to get out. Or just good indie games in general that deserve the spotlight. Right now, until July 10th, Pinstripe's only $1.50. So it's very much worth it to try it out and spend a few hours just playing it. As we get into the showcase, let me just show you a couple of scenes from the early game that'll hopefully set the tone here.
Wake up, Daddy. You're sleepwalking again. Hey, do you smell smoke? Let's go investigate. You can be Sherlock. You're silly. Poor Geordie. He's all stuffed in his crate. What's that, Daddy? It looks like a frozen drop of oil.
Good morning, Ted. And who might this be? Hello there, Bo. Do you like balloons? How about a shiny black one? Oh, and Bo, I like your dress. Oh, that's not very nice. Bo, your daddy is such a brute.
Pinstripe took me just over 2 hours to finish. Now, I did have to pull up a playthrough to get through a couple of sections I just couldn't figure out. But I understand that I've been put through the dopamine ringer with AAA games, and I was having a bit of trouble adjusting to a more slow-paced game as this. I've been playing mostly, if not exclusively, 3D or FPS type games for longer than I can remember now, so the slower pace is definitely something that I need to get used to. I do have to point out, for it being an indie game, I very much appreciated the voice acting, and it didn't expect me to read multiple walls of text, which is something I was pushed away from with other adventure-type games. Well, some of my favorite games of all time are Kingdom Hearts games, and they're very much guilty of the half of the time or more you're reading walls of text. That's because for the English dub, they didn't voice over all the lines. And on top of the great voice acting, the backgrounds, music, and the foreshadowing really did the work while I just sat there and enjoyed myself while I was in the moment, immersed in the game. The story wasn't overly complex, and it really hit the right emotional buttons that made me care about what it had to say. And by the time I finished the game, I was in tears. That ending was simply beautiful. I won't spoil it, but you just have to get it. You just have to experience it on your own. Drifting away from the plot and the narrative, I did see a few negative reviews that mentioned the achievements being buggy, but that's not something I'm concerned with. I'm more concerned with being in the game and enjoying myself, which I did both of those. There was even times where I had to just stop and appreciate the beauty in the scene. And again, the ending, completely amazing. I don't plan on doing ratings for any of these videos, but I can say that this game was a very strong start for the series. Regardless of what some of the reviews say gameplay-wise, the gameplay was smooth. It seemed very polished, and I could tell a lot of time went into it. Overall, I had a good time. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. It has me very excited for Thomas Brush's first 3D game that he's currently working on, called Twisted Tower. If he can do what he did here in a 3D realm, it'll be a dream come true. I've seen some of his dev vlogs regarding the game, and it already looks great. I can imagine how it's going to look whenever he's finished with it. I know some of his big pointers through most of his videos revolve around less is more. That's very much true here. Layers. simple shapes. He's a master at it. He's been doing very well with this for a long time, and he's even got his own course of which, once I'm more well-rounded in terms of, you know, software development and coding and things like that, and actually start on the game design parts of things, I definitely plan on buying his game developer course. And another point that I forgot to touch on as well is kind of from a goofy standpoint here, but as I was playing this game, immersed in this beautiful setting, the last thing I expected to be doing was playing Flappy Bird. As I get back into some editing for some funny moments videos, I want to leave you guys with the sounds of Red Wash. So please enjoy. Thank you.